Hello, my name is Ginny Metzger, and I play this instrument, which is the oboe. Now the oboe, as you can see, it's made out of a dark wood, which comes from Africa. And one of the things that's distinctive about it is that the mouthpiece up here is very small and very delicate, and then the instrument gradually gets a little bigger and a little bigger until at the bottom, this part, the bell, is kind of a normal size. So we say that the oboe has a conical bore, or inside it's like an upside down ice cream cone. Now, I have been playing the oboe since I was in 5th grade, the end of 5th grade, so since I was about 10. My school started, I did start with the school band program, and we started people in playing instruments when they were in 4th grade. So I actually started playing an instrument in 4th grade, but they wouldn't let you start on the oboe, so I took the flute instead. And then in 5th grade was able to switch to the oboe. The reason they did not let people start on the oboe was because the mouthpiece of the oboe, which is a double reed, actually is fairly delicate. It's quite small. You have to be careful with it, or it will break easily if you drop it. If you're not conscious of it, you could crash into something and break the reed. And the school wanted to wait and make sure that you really wanted to continue playing an instrument before they put you on something where you could be breaking a lot of reeds. And so anyway, the way the double reed works is there is a reed in the front, and then there's a reed in the back with the same shape. And in between the reeds, there's a very small opening. And to play the oboe, you wet the reed, it has to stay wet. And then you just put it in your mouth, kind of like that, and you blow. And just by itself, the reed will make a sound, but it won't do much more than that. So, to make it more interesting, we put it into the oboe and get a bigger sound and a lot more notes. So the oboe is a fairly high instrument, and part of that is because this is not really long for an instrument. We have other instruments in the orchestra that are bigger and that are so long that you have to curl them up. Now, what is my favorite piece of music? My favorite piece of music changes depending on what I'm playing at the time. Of the music that the orchestra is going to play in the spring, my favorite piece is Bizet's Symphony in C, because it's just full of sunshine. It just makes you happy to listen to it, and it's really fun to play it on the oboe. I've had other pieces that are favorites from time to time. Something that's always a favorite is Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Something I like playing on the oboe. I am going to play a piece called Arethusa, and in this piece, the oboe is basically supposed to represent a fountain. And the way that the composer did that was by starting on high notes and then going down to low notes, sort of like water flowing from a high place to a low place. And he just keeps doing that over and over to create the effect of a fountain. It's really not going to sound like if you went out into a park and listened to a fountain or a waterfall. It's just one way of musically representing a fountain. Okay, something unique about me. Well, something unique about me when I play the oboe, I would have to put my hair back to show you. So I will do that. And then hopefully you can see my neck. And now when I start to play the oboe, watch my neck. So what I hope you saw is that my neck actually expands when I play the oboe. That doesn't happen to everybody when they play the oboe, and mine only goes out on one side. Not really sure why. I have asked a doctor or asked several doctors, and they tell you something like, oh yes, some muscle weakness inside the body or tissue weakness or something. Which to me sounds like they don't really know why. I do know that this happens sometimes with people that play brass instruments, any instrument where there's a certain amount of pressure from the air against your face. Another thing that is unique about me is that I come from a different part of the country. And so when I moved to Greenville, which was many, many years ago, around 1985, because that's when I first started playing with the orchestra, I was teaching some middle school students, and you're teaching people who are beginners, so you're saying, okay, press this key to play B, and then to play A, press this key too. But what my students would say was, mash that A key, mash that B key. And where I come from, mash is pretty close to smash. And so I thought they were saying, smash that A key, smash that B key. And I was horrified because on the oboe, you want to place your fingers down very gently, just press them gently. And so I would tell them that, and they didn't understand what was upsetting me, and I didn't understand that that was just the way people talked around here. So that was one thing that I learned.